This is one of the key startup things where they're like, if you're not embarrassed of your product, you've waited too long to launch. Like these things are at the root. There's a lot of like frugality there, right? Because you don't want to spend too much time or too much money. Like you want to get it out there as quickly as possible and at as little cost. And
also, you don't want to spend too much time and money on the wrong thing, and you just don't know enough, right? You could have built too much email, and you wouldn't have learned what to actually build, right?
It's easy to go completely off the rails. And it's one of the most surprising things like I've learned just working with so many startups is how often the cause of death is too much money. Like I think there are companies that if they had not been so well funded could have been successful. And the company I like to make fun of, not because they may have been successful, but just because it's funny to laugh at, is Juicero, like the $700 juice bag squeezing machine. And the thing that made that, I think, such a like tremendous train wreck is that they gave them $120 million for that thing before they ever like talked to any customer. Like if Juicero had gone through YC and we gave them $120,000, they would have had to go talk to a customer and be like, hey, like, we want to sell you this $700 juice bag squeezer, right? Like, they would have had to talk to customers. And that's the thing, like, we push so hard onto startups is like, you have to go talk. I think I just lost the mic. You have to go talk to your customers. It's so easy to become detached and off in this like bubble of delusion. And the problem with having lots of funding before you're really ready for it is that's exactly what happens. So you can sell yourself on this idea, oh yeah, once we build the perfect juice bag squeezer, like we're going to take over the world. Everyone's going to want to spend $700. I mean, plus like you get this giant box in the mail that has tiny bags of juice in it. It's awesome. Like everyone's going to want this, right? And they were able to live in that delusion for years because they never had to go out and talk to customers.
Right. If I recall, you could actually just recreate everything it did by just going like that.
Right. The reason for it, so I cut open one of the bags. The reason is I think to actually get it to work, they had to really heavily macerate the fruit. So that's why I call it a juice bag squeezer, is because it was actually already juiced. It was really just separating the pulp from the juice, which is why also it's no better than just like going to the store and buying juice. Like the whole thing was like built on a number of flawed premises, but like in particular, you weren't really even juicing it. It had already been juiced. You were just straining the juice.
But there's a deep lesson there, which is no matter what you raise, if you raise $50,000 or $5 million, you should think of the amplification you need. If you raise $5 million, that doesn't mean you can create $150,000 worth of value and be happy. You have to create $50 million worth of value.
Yeah, but you can't like, it's easy again, I think, to come up with stories in your mind about how you're doing it. Because like once we release this, juice squeezer, and that's why I think like you just have to stay close to the customers. You have to be out there selling because you can just become delusional otherwise. And so that's why, with startups, like I've just seen it again and again. Like if they get a huge round of funding before they have product market fit, it kills the company. Like it, because it's just too hard for the founders to resist that. Because actually going out and dealing with the fact that you don't have product market fit is really painful. It's easier to tell yourself stories about how, oh yeah, we're killing it. I'm hiring. I just hired a whole new team. We've got this cool office. Like there's all these like
working on cool technology.
Yeah, we're doing all this amazing stuff.
Like
I'm in the press all the time. I go to conferences. I'm up on stage. Like Theranos. Like it's easy to just kind of like be completely detached from reality because you're not out there selling a thing and you're creating a thing that people actually want to use.